everybody! Welcome. It's City Nakazawa here, and today we're going to be getting into some VTuber Newsy news. But before we do, please make sure to smash subscribe, hit the like, ring the bell. And guys, do you know they stream on Twitch? Head over to Twitch, and if you're at work, leave me a lurk. Okay guys, on to our very first piece of Newsy news. This is NIJISANJI, and NIJISANJI is an agency of primarily 2D virtual YouTubers who are known as virtual livers, managed by AnyColor Incorporated. So, why are we talking about NIJISANJI? Well guys, just to give you some context here, this is posted on NIJISANJI's X account. This was posted on September 24th, 2025 at 2 a.m. And this is pretty much just the response in regards to damaging the honor and reputation of their virtual livers and how essentially they're going to be conducting investigations. So this is just an update to this post. So this is posted on AnyColor's X account. This is posted on September 29th at 2 a.m. Obviously, this is going to be machine translated. It's not going to be perfect. So it says here, regarding the response to the dissemination of infringing on the company and our affiliated livers, we sincerely thank you for your continued support of the virtual liver group NIJISANJI and NIJISANJI EM. AnyColor Co. Limited, hereinafter referred to as our company, is taking specific measures to address aggressive actions and defamatory behavior directed towards our affiliated livers. Recently, a court approved a request for the disclosure of sender information regarding an individual, herein referred to as the individual, who, over an extended period on X, formerly Twitter, posted distorted or fabricated information about our company and our affiliated livers using hashtags. Based on the disclosed sender information, negotiations were conducted with the individual, resulting in the individual agreeing not to post about our company or affiliated livers in the future. Additionally, a settlement was reached in which the individual agreed to pay damages. Regarding the account in question, we have received numerous reports from fans for some time. We would like to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to all the fans who provided information and cooperated with us. Currently, our company, in collaboration with our affiliated livers, is pursuing multiple legal actions, including lawsuits for sender information disclosure against aggressive actions and defamatory behavior targeting our affiliated livers of our company. Through sender information disclosure requests, we obtain information about individuals who engage in aggressive or defamatory behavior from providers and subsequently proceed with claims for damages or criminal complaints against those individuals. Our company will continue to promptly take action, including criminal procedures, against such behavior targeting our affiliated livers or our company. Additionally, if you discover such posts on SNS or anonymous message boards, we would greatly appreciate it if you could report them using the report form for aggressive or defamatory behavior on our corporate website. And this says anycolor.co.jp/report. So anyways, guys, so essentially what it sounds like AnyColor is doing is that anytime someone posts anything defamatory on even an anonymous website, they are going to the person's IP provider, demanding information like their legal name and address and all that stuff, then pursuing with legal action there. This is more in response to fans, like specifically in Japan, because obviously trying to sue outside of your country is not only a very expensive process, but also will not result in much success. So anyways, guys, it's a little concerning, but granted, there are some bad actors in the VTuber community who are being defamatory. However, AnyColor is not a perfect company either. They've done many things in the past, like for example, almost caused a couple livers to exit the planet, harboring a spicy pest. Like these guys, generally kind of black company vibes. Anyways, guys, this is just an update. Okay, guys, on to our next piece of newsy news. This is Twitch, and Twitch is an American video live streaming service popular in video games, including broadcasts of esports and competitions. So why are we talking about Twitch? Well, guys, Twitch has been having this weird thing that a lot of viewers across the board, not just VTubers, but also IRL streamers, have been seeing a drop in viewership. And essentially, this post explains why. This is posted on Neko Unix X account, and this is posted on September 28th, 2025, around 12:27 a.m. And Neko says, for those noticing a drop in viewership, it's not because Twitch, quote, rolled back the system. It's because they implemented changes where viewers using ad blockers often aren't counted anymore. The impact depends on the ad blocker being used and whether it's tied to things like EasyList.to or other common ad blocker DNS/settings. And then Zippy says, how did you figure this out? And Neko says, friends who work in Twitch. Rosie Belmu says, you'll also notice your mobile viewer percentage will go up because there aren't many options for ad blockers on mobile. And then Rose says, it helps me have my viewer count up. Numbers aren't everything, and if seeing a lower viewer count makes you feel sad, try not to look. And then Jack Nyeko says, this would make the most sense since it's from the ad block side and YouTube is getting affected too. If they are collecting the data the same method, both would most likely get blocked. This would explain a little bit as to why people who stream on Twitch are seeing a drop in viewership. viewership. So it looks like this is what's happened, apparently, according to friends who work in Twitch. So anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below. Do you think that this is something that is viable, or do you think that it's something else? Okay, guys, on to our next piece of Newsy news. This is Face Connect, and Face Connect is an English-Japanese virtual YouTuber agency based in Vancouver, Canada. Their goal is to connect people across the globe with lots of fun and laughter. The agency is led by Kevin Lee, aka H2O Sakana. So why are we talking about Face Connect? Well, guys, it looks like Face Connect has a new generation. This is posted on the NIJISANJI subreddit, posted by Confused and on 2010, saying a new era begins. Phase Saga announcement. So let's take a look at the announcement. Okay, guys, so it looks like Phase Saga will begin in October 2025, which is coming up shortly. So let's see what some of the people on Reddit are saying. Boltup says, I'm guessing the new members are going to be certain banana cat and a snake. So people are suspecting that this is where Nyena is going. Azamora says, new sad girl drop, nice. Hydrosphere says, welcome home, Nyena. Exona Talk says, hype. Every expansion to the company has added such great talent. Love watching the sad family grow. So anyways, guys, Face Connect is going to be having a new wave of people in October. So who they are and what they are going to be like, obviously we can only speculate, but we will find out for sure in October, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. Okay, guys, on to our next piece of Newsy news. This is Nodoka. Nodoka is a female staff member and virtual YouTuber associated with HOLOLIVE. She co-hosted the HOLOLIVE Japanese YouTube channel alongside 8chan until 8chan's retirement in 2024, making her the sole host of the channel. Nodoka is also an ambassador for the mobile app Holo Plus. So why are we talking about Nodoka? Well, guys, so just to give you some context here, 25 days ago, this was posted on the HOLOLIVE subreddit, and it said, staff member Nodoka is leaving at the end of September. So it looks like she has now left. This is posted on the HOLOLIVE subreddit, and this is posted by HoloYum sub saying Nodoka's final reaction and in future of HOLO-AN. So this is the video, so let's take a look here. Oh no, the stream is about to end.
まあでもね、30日まではまだまだこうお仕事を最後までしっかり頑張っていこうと思いますが、こういう全体的な配信はこちらの回で最後ということで、そう29日がということで、そう29日にはですね、月曜日かなには、ホライブ公式チャンネルの方の面言で最後の皆さんにご挨拶もしようかなと思っておりますし、30日にはですね、ちょっとメッセージというか X の方とかでちょっとお伝えしながらバイバイっていや本当になんかこんなに昼ホロみたいな形で皆さんと一緒に交流をしてみたいな、毎週ね配信でみんなにお会いできるみたいなことがね、こう入社した時というかからは考えられないことだなと思いまして、たくさんのね縁が皆さんとのどかというかね、こうホロライブプロダクションとのどかを、そしてのどかと皆さんをつないでくださったなと思って、本当に感謝の気持ちでいっぱいです。見てきてくださるのかもね、皆さんの中に紛れ込みながらこれからはホロ活をねしていると思いますので、はい、本当に本当にありがとうございました。3年半。
So now that we watched the video, let's see what some of the people on Reddit got to say. Snagglewolf says she's so cute, she'll be missed. Melzy says, whether back in the office or talent, it's nice to see them moving on to pursue their goals. Purple Weakness says, I wish her nothing but the best of luck in her future endeavors. Her time at HOLOLIVE was short, but I'm glad I got to experience it. Anyways, guys, so long story short, it looks like Nodoka has left HOLOLIVE officially now, so that chapter is closed. Who exactly is going to replace her, we're not really sure, but essentially, if you follow the HOLO-AN channel, they'll be posting further information there. As for where Nodoka is going, it's not really clear. From what it sounds like, it says, you know, I'm going to be among the fans. It doesn't sound like she's making her own VTubing career. If she does, though, please let me know. Okay, guys, on to our next piece of Newsy news. There's some good news on the VTuber front in regards to being essentially getting a little bit more mainstream. This is an article that was written by Kyoto News, and this is posted on September 29th, 2025. It says here, virtual idols draw real-world crowds as Japan VTuber market soars. VTubers, or virtual YouTubers performing through animated avatars, are shifting from Japan-born niche subculture to mainstream entertainment, with the country's booming market expanding overseas. At Tokyo's Arete Arena in August, around 10,000 fans, mainly wearing blue happy coats, cheered as Amane Kanata, a silver-haired VTuber produced by Cover Corporation, took the stage for her first solo live concert called Lock On. "Hey, you guys," the avatar shouted, drawing roars from the audience. With live music and a close-up of her face filling a giant screen suspended from the ceiling, the show felt much more like a concert by a human performer. Producers attribute the realism to meticulous work on lighting, shadows, and stage design. Fans, however, say the draw is more personal. "Her songs were beautiful and the dialogue funny," said a 34-year-old attendee who had traveled from Taiwan, adding that Kanata had become popular in Taiwan through streaming during the COVID-19 pandemic. Kanata, who's said to be 18 years old and studying to be a full-fledged angel, made her debut stream on December 2019 and reached 10,000 subscribers shortly after in early 2020. She has the nickname PP Tenshi, PowerPoint Angel, because she once made debut materials via PowerPoint. Her fan base seems to be drawn by her sweet, polite, angelic demeanor, a shy personality that seems to resonate with audiences, and her strong singing voice that gives her extra reach to translate into real-world events. Essentially, what this article is trying to say is that slowly but surely, VTubing is becoming a little bit more of a mainstream rather than something that's just in Japan, which is wonderful news to all of us, right? Because if one of us wins, we all win. So anyways, guys, it's really exciting when VTubing hits mainstream media and technically legacy media as well. It just brings a little bit more credibility to our cause, and it's really exciting. Anyways, all right, guys, on to our next piece of newsy news. This is Luminara, and Luminara is a VTuber production brand. So they are not a talent agency. Essentially, they run events, game shows, and concerts. Just to give you some context here, this is posted on their X account on September 18th. They were going to be opening up VTuber auditions. In the anticipation for the VTuber auditions, they're hosting a lot of events up to that point. However, it looks like they've run into a little bit of hot water. So this is MochiMochiVT, and MochiMochiVT is an indie VTuber on Twitch and a strawberry mochi fox. Just to give you some context here, this was posted on Luminara's X account, and this was posted on September 27th, 2025. And Luminara said, "Congrats to Team Legacy for winning hashtag VTuber Rivals." And it says here, MochiMochiVT, who's the captain. All right, so why are we talking about Luminara and MochiMochiVT and the hashtag VTuber Rivals competition? Well, guys, it looks like there was some foul play at the competition here. This is posted on the NIJISANJI subreddit, posted by Sinfire Titan. It says, "Luminara revoked first place from a team over breach of rules during VTuber Rivals 2. So OP is just giving some context here. Luminara has been hosting multiple competitions in the lead up to their auditions and recently hosted a Marvel Rivals tournament for VTubers. Each team was allowed to have a maximum of 2 non-VTubers, among other rules, and one team allegedly benched 2 of their VTubers to substitute in 2 FleshTubers. The team comp had only 1 FleshTuber when they submitted for the tournament. According to onlookers, 1 or more of the FleshTubers attempted to sidestep the rule by using a PingTuber day of, despite not using one regularly. Several of other teams were compensated, including a team that tied for 3rd place." And Tuna Eyeball says that PingTuber and possible other party members were also making nasty comments about the VTubers they were, quote, forced to have before kicking them out. So the rules says team of 6 VTubers, 2 non-VTubers allowed per team. Each team can have 2 subs. Ranks will be determined by the average rankings between each session. Each rank will have 1 value point. So bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, GM, celestial, trinity, OAA. And it says each team can have up to 42 points per team. Fill out the form and sign up today. So that was essentially the rules. So let's continue here. This is Yomi. Yomi is a celestial ice fox. This is posted on Yomi's X account on September 28th. And Yomi says, "So I'm going to be the one to bring this to light, but this win is quite unfair. Legacy benched 2 of the VTubers they had and replaced them with non-VTubers, making them run 3 non-VTubers in the games. The rules of the tournament specify that you are only allowed 2 non-VTubers. I did check what information I could on the 3 non-VTubers, and it is very much clear that they aren't. You can disagree, but you can check the information provided in the links below. If you have no design and aren't actively streaming with a ping/live 2D model pre-made and so on, and you're just streaming, you aren't a VTuber. If you got just a ping for the contest, you also aren't a VTuber. You can tell who the VTubers are because they have active information such as their designs, links to their model parents, PNG parents, art, etc., etc. This is disheartening to see, and considering the way members of the previous team acted when they lost in the last round, I can see now why this happened this time. Do better next time, and Luminara, stand by your own rules or don't have them at all," which is totally fair. And we continue to say, "They also had a member who was specifically attacking attacking and blaming another member due to the fact that said member was disappointed being benched after working their butt off because, quote, points were more important. They were removed to maximize the chance of winning. This is one of the non-VTubers. So you can see here, it says, I agree. If admin confirmed our ranks earlier, then we could have kicked Taiga sooner. So in response to Luminara's X post, Maito says, didn't they break your rules though? This Paper Rabbit says, yup, dude streams without a model and has comments implying all you need to be VTuber is wear whatever character as avatar on one graphic, the one from this post. According to him, you don't actually need a VTuber model to call yourself a VTuber. So here it says, I'm a VTuber. Why are you tweaking? Don't you see my avatar in the graphic? So then this person replies saying, I stream with ghosty PNG, tongue sticking out face. Miss Paper Rabbit continues to say, you mean the static ghost face ping made by this guy here? You're not even crediting Alfred Delia for his art. Like I said, you think taking someone else's art and putting it on your screen is all it takes for you to call yourself a VTuber. So you can see here, this is just a clip. Let's take a look here. This is the VTuber in question here.
Oh my god.
It's not even like a reactive image there, so he's kind of like masquerading as a VTuber. So let's continue. So Luminara has seen what has gone down and has released a statement. And Luminara says, we have investigated the situation related to Team Legacy and have decided to disqualify them from VTuber Rivals 2. During our investigation, the team admitted to the admins that they indeed had 3 non-VTubers on their team. Further investigation revealed other violations of tournament rules as well. There was a miscommunication from a staff member responsible for verifying teams who mishandled this situation and did not follow our guidelines on how to handle team submissions properly. We are handling the situation internally and they have been removed. We have already contacted Team Unemployed, Team 9 to 5s, Crab Rangooners, and Trojan Horses to receive the prize in that order, as well as adding another $600 to other team tied for 3rd place to compensate for the trouble this may have caused. We hope to continue handling the situation between the teams listed and ask you to please stop sending messages to talents or staff members who have nothing to do with the situation. There is a staff team dedicated to the event, completely unrelated to anything on the talent side. We do not condone any type of harassment to anyone in or out of Luminara. For the time being, we'll be delaying auditions until this is fully resolved. Thank you for your patience in this matter. So in response to the disqualification, MochiMochi has posted a Google document. So this is posted on MochiMochi's X account, posted on September 28th, 2025, around 10:06 p.m. And Mochi says, my response to the Team Legacy allegations. Okay, so this is the Google document that was posted by MochiMochi. It is organized as a bunch of different tabs here. MochiMochi says, my truth. Luminara is using my team as a scapegoat to hide the misconduct and many faults in the tournament. While I understand mistakes happen, this event was not appropriate for a competitive tournament scene. Hello everyone, I just wanted to clear up my part in the participation of the tournament for Luminara. As you've already seen, Luminara have decided to disqualify myself and my team from the VTuber Rivals 2 tournament following yesterday's final. In their statement, they claim to have disqualified our team for having 3 non-VTubers on the team and then advised we broke more tournament rules following an investigation, but these rule breaches have not been communicated to me or my team as Luminara removed me from the server. Before I begin, I want to highlight the full official rules that were listed for the tournament. Note, tournament rules were posted 1 day before the tournament. So you can see here, this is posted by Philip, who's group staff, and it says Marvel Rivals Online Tournament FAQ, general information, tournament rules. What happens if I disconnect during the match? If a player disconnects before the first elimination of any match, the match can be restarted. If a player disconnects after the elimination, the match will continue as normal under 5v6 conditions until the DC'd player reconnect. Can I use mods or third-party software? No. Any form of cheating or unfair gameplay will result in immediate disqualification from the entire tournament. If found guilty of cheating, you will also be ineligible for the prize pool. Can I stream my own match? Yes, you may stream your own matches. When can I have a substitute swap in? Substitutes will be able to take the place of another member as long as they are swapping in before any rounds or kills have started in the matchup. If it is in between rounds of a matchup, you will not be permitted to change your team lineup. Who can substitute sub for? They can sub for people in the same rank or higher. So here it says, as team leader for the winning team, I felt it's best to speak up as I saw a lot of negativity towards myself and my teammates. I would first like to say when my roster was submitted, the admin team for the event proved it. I would have been happy to make any adjustments if need be, but being the event organizers had approved the team, we felt there was no problem. No official rules were given or listed in the Discord server about what is considered a ping or VTuber. Only rules we had to go off of were the same rules from the first VTuber Rivals event. I used this to guide my decision making on selecting my team. I decided to use the tabs to answer each allegation and also share my thoughts on the whole situation and how I believe Luminaria have conducted themselves throughout the tournament and subsequent fallout for our victory. Please click the blue links or the tabs to the left. Okay, so PingTuber. It says here, the rules of the ping/VTuber clarification was nowhere to be found in the main rules or announcements. Because I was part of the very first VTuber Marvel Rivals tournament, I was able to remember the rules that they had in place for ping/VTubers at the time. The rule was that a person who had a ping or VTuber on stream at any single time would be considered a VTuber pingtuber. This became a universal rule after other teams in the tournament using this rule, such as Mace and Doki's team. This is how Mace was able to play in the first tournament because he had a ping of Brigietta. At this time, only one non-VTuber was allowed. And then Real Kamada says pingtubers are okay as well. Only one non-VTuber allowed per team. It said Mace's ping that counted him as a VTuber was circled in pink. Strangely, the rule about what was considered a pingtuber/VTuber was not added for the second VTuber Marble Rivals tournament. Because of my knowledge from the last cup and no clear ruling, I proceeded with the ruling stated in Grand Cup 1 to list Ungod as a pingtuber. I clearly stated he's streaming with a ping. Since there was no official ruling, my teammates were confused about what counted as a pingtuber. Since I was the only one who participated in the VTuber Marble Rivals Grand Cup 1, only I knew about this ruling. And this says Ungod's ping that counts him as a VTuber as Mace was previous. So kind of like she's making the comparison that since this was considered a pingtuber, this should also be considered a pingtuber. This was the primary reason that we moved forward with the Ungod as a team member. To clarify, Ungod was classified as a pingtuber and while not specifically a VTuber, would have still been classified as one according to the tournament rules. The main allegation is my teammate admitting Ungod was not a VTuber. Commander first asked a non-VTuber teammate of mine about VTubers, where he has very little to no knowledge about VTubers. My teammate responds with, yeah, we aren't VTubers, but later says Ungod is a VTuber, I think. I later called him and explained the difference between a pingtuber and a VTuber and how a pingtuber is different from a VTuber, but still considered a VTuber. He was confused. I immediately responded to Kamana and followed up with evidence that Ungod was considered a VTuber via the first Grand Cup rules, since there was no official ruling for what was considered a VTuber/pingtuber for the second Grand Cup. We were not the only ones using this logic, as Fate was also under the same impression when looking for a team, as he uses a Jeff ping for his model. It's a screenshot showing Fate looking for a team and clarifying that they are a VTuber using a PNG with the same logic. Final confirmation came through when an admin approved our final completed team roster. The specific admin who approved our team was admin Burb. We were also in contact with admin Philip, admin Fleo throughout the tournament, and Real Kamada during the end of the tournament. Numerous admins had access to our channel at any given time. They can be seen via Team Legacy's full admin chat. We were in contact with numerous admins throughout the entire process. It wasn't until after the tournament concluded that Burb was suddenly removed as an admin. This was used to justify our disqualification by saying that they have been removed for mishandling our submission and not following guidelines properly. At no point was this communicated to us and any of the admin of our chat. We played through the full tournament with no issues and were announced as winners. The tournament was concluded, and then once there was a fallout in the community, that is when Burb was fired. They stated that now that Burb was fired, the approval was revoked, but this was done after the tournament concluded. Whatever was confirmed in the tournament during the tournament is what was allowed in the tournament. Kicking an admin after the tournament does not allow you to revoke our approval, regardless if other admins did not agree with when the tournament ended. We did get admin approval during the tournament by current admin. I would also like to state that the other admin disagreed with the decision, but at no point could provide the rule that we had broken. They made their decision based on their opinion, not on an actual rule, as there was no rule that specified what a VTuber was and was not. In the screenshot above, which was taken by the VTuber Rivals Discord server today, September 28th, 2025, you can see that Kamana is explaining a change to the rules to explain what a pingtuber is, which confirms that this rule was not in place for the past tournament and that Ungods will have been classified as a pingtuber from the tournament yesterday, meaning we did not run a roster with 3 non-VTubers under the rules of the tournament. Had more specific guidelines been provided by the organizers, we could have easily fallen in line with them. We in no way went into this event to cheat, swindle, or rob anyone of victories. We used the tournament rules available for use with a roster approved by the organizers. It feels as though Luminara are trying to use my team as scapegoats for their own mistakes, and I feel this is unfair. You can see from the below screen recording of T Legacy chat in its entirety with the server where we had clarification for the admin throughout our time involved with the tournament. Please feel free to pause to read. Okay, and this is the sub rule. We've also been accused of breaking rules regarding subs, and I want to clarify this point also. This is the rule for the subs, which we read earlier. Specific rule regarding subs for the tournament, applying to admin Fleo regarding Brave to be a sub and Iris to be part of the main roster. It says replying to admin Flip regarding Taiga to be a sub and Delian to be part of the main roster. It says Brave and Taiga were used as subs to ensure we met these guidelines by having Brave sub for his Iris and Taiga was going to sub for Dylan if or when needed to meet the criteria for the subs. When I made the decision to bench the players, I explained to them that they would still play in games in the tournament. Brave played for the team as agreed. Brave confirmed that he was happy to be a sub. I had a call with Taiga about the move being a sub, and on call with him, he made several requests of me in order to accept being moved to a sub role. He requested that I would play Marvel Rivals ranked with him whenever he asked, that I become his friend, and that I spend more time with him. These requests made me uncomfortable and I declined. I wanted to find an amicable solution to the situation, so I still agreed to having him on my team as a sub and having him sub in for a game. He accepted, but later found a team to join the main roster in the morning of the tournament. I wished him good luck and I was happy for him. I later told him I felt it was best to distance ourselves and continue with our lives due to me being uncomfortable with him. I am aware that since leaving the team, Taiga has been spreading multiple lies, DMing multiple people about the situation, and actively retweeting and trying to gain traction on the situation. I'm not afraid to speak up for myself now. And then in regards to benching, it says, I would like to add a completely separate statement regarding benching. I've seen a lot of people bring this up and I would like to address it. I understand how many people feel about me benching my players, and it was definitely a hard situation. I was building a team to play competitively in the hopes of winning. In competitions, this is a regular behavior where a team will look to optimize their roster to get the best performance they can and achieve the best possible result. To a casual gamer, it'll seem unfair, but to players who have been in competitive scene, this is standard practice. I explained my decision to my team, and for the most part, the decision was accepted. It will never be a popular decision, especially to those being benched, so I'm grateful that Brave was accepting of the decision and the reasoning behind it. Taiga wanted a trade of my time to play Marvel Rivals with him in order for me to bench him, which I considered at first, but was advised by friends not to do so. Unfortunately, due to the long time it took my team to get verified, view verification process, it took me a long time to get official ranks and make swaps to my main roster accordingly. I made sure to compensate the subbed out players by subbing them in a game during the tournament. Although some of my teammates expressed that they would be okay if they got benched, I know that a lot of people out there would get hurt by this. I apologized to both Brave and Taiga and offered compensation right away by subbing them into a game. I've played in a lot of competitive settings and truly didn't mean any disrespect. It was never my intention to hurt anyone. I was just playing with a competitive mindset. And then here it says verification process. It says our verification process began on September 17th when we began to verify player ranks. As you will see from the screenshots in the folder, all of which were taken to the Team Legacy full admin chat recording. We worked with multiple admins across multiple days before we finally received our final verification on September 26th. We were able to all get verified the day before the tournament. Every rank we received was verified by an admin. All of our team profiles are public if anyone wants to look at our ranks. So this is the roster here, and then it says BM. So BM, I'm assuming means bad mouthing. I tried Googling it. It could have been baby mama, bowel movement. I'm not really sure. I'm going to assume that this means bad mouthing in regards to BM. So okay, let's continue. It says here, regarding the BM, On Gods have apologized to myself and the team for their behavior during the games yesterday. We have since blocked him and immediately told him to take down his BM tweets when I found out. He will also no longer be associated with myself and any teams I create going forward. While there were examples of BM across multiple teams, this is not something that should have happened at all during the games from anyone. I want to make it clear that I did not approve of his behavior and can be heard on my VOD telling me this. The VOD is public and can be found here. Let's continue. It says, I feel it's unfair that only one member's actions are being used to characterize the rest of the team. As I feel like we are the only ones being targeted, I wanted to show examples of what occurred across multiple teams and participants. So here, Runa Bites, who is an Android VTuber, and says, my thoughts on the Team Legacy situation. Get effed and stay effed. So here it says, gonna go elbow deep into this and openly say, I think all the members of Team Legacy are pretty effing trash and deserve the poop getting flung their way. They broke the rules, min-maxed their points to be, quote, the best team, and played like pricks the whole time. The way they conducted themselves in match, in comms, and online is gross as hell as toxic. For our match against them, they, 1, banned nearly all decent healers so we couldn't properly heal our team. 2, kidnapped me with strange portal both rounds, only managed to kill me once from it and giggled. You think it was that Strange's first time being kidnapped? No, I've been playing the same game you have since it came out. You aren't the first and you won't be the last, Jack Blood. 3, held us at our spawn the entire 2 rounds, not allowing us to push the objective or have a proper fight while laughing about it. I also heard one of them mention that we were, quote, running in straight lines while trying to exit our spawn. No shoot, you dumb effing monogoid ape man. We are stuck with the same shooty paths to get out of our spawn your team is actively holding us at. All in all, good to see the karma train hitting them hard. Rest in piss. The above screenshot is completely unacceptable. The points raised are standard practice in competitive tournaments, but to call someone publicly arcist is abhorrent behavior. It says, once again, I do not condone any of the BM that took place, but I want to ensure that if we're being held accountable for this behavior, others are too. I apologize on behalf of On Gods for his unfortunate comment, and throughout my VOD, I was also there to make sure everyone was nice. When I was looking for teammates, I decided to go to the official Marvel Rivals Discord server LFT and ask for teammates. This is the first thing I said to them. I apologize once again on behalf of any of my teammates who were toxic. This was not my intention. And then the summary of that says, my my belief. My belief that we have been used as scapegoats by Luminara is strengthened by the fact that my mod was kicked from the VTuber Rivals server also and unable to join back because they have paused invites to the server. I was immediately banned without warning. I was very lucky to have recorded our team's admin chat before my access to this information was removed. I truly feel like without this information, I would have been silenced. When my team tried to join back for more information, we were immediately banned once again. Kuz is one of my mods and previously been involved in the Luminara tournament. He had been in this server but found he was removed when he tried to join back and found out he could not. It feels like Luminara are taking steps to remove my access to information in the hopes that I do not respond to their statement. I hope it's not true, but banning me from the server and then my mods makes it feel that way. I believe Marvel Rivals sponsored this tournament in the hopes of seeing a fun but competitive tournament that showcased the skill and gameplay of Marvel Rivals. Ignite bans were used and nowhere did it state that this was a casual tournament. If people want to take it casually, then it's great. But for those who take it seriously, should not be reprimanded. We viewed this as a competitive tournament and we acted competitively. I do not believe the actions of Luminara are aligned with this. And then it says here, I do not believe we deserve to be disqualified given the rules that were accused of breaking were never communicated to the teams or myself at any point during the tournament. I simply wanted to highlight that while people have come to their own conclusions on what happened, I hope this statement and the evidence I shared shows that neither I nor my team broke the tournament or roster rules, and we sought and received clarification and confirmation from multiple members of the admin of the tournament. At the end of the day, I never wanted things to end like this. I wanted to uphold a legacy for my past teammates that meant so much to me from the first cup. I wanted to win not only for my current team, but for those who came before. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my truth. So essentially, to summarize this document, from what it sounds like, MochiMochi, it was like, well, they didn't specifically kind of say what a VTuber slash PingTuber was. Therefore, MochiMochi kind of took a lot of liberties. It is interesting to point out that MochiMochi is definitely calling out Dokibird on her use of players when it came to their Marvel Rivals tournament and how this person was considered a ping, but essentially she did the same thing as MochiMochi's team did. Interesting because, like, I mean, she's like, well, you know, Doki did it and didn't get in trouble. I did it and I got in trouble. So, like, you can kind of see MochiMochi's point. However, it's kind of sad because definitely it kind of takes away from the spirit of the game, right? But when money is involved, people get a little bit nutty and money changes people, right? You know, what was supposed to be like a fun competition turned into kind of like a bloodbath. And, you know, obviously people are going to kind of min-max the rules to their benefit, right? Anyways, so this is Tim, who is the VT Ramen founder. This is posted on Tim's X account, and he makes some very good points about this. This is posted on September 28th, 2025, around 9:34 a.m. And Tim says, hot take, stop running tournaments in the VTuber space. Here's why they don't work. I spent over $100,000 running and sponsoring a huge amount of tournaments before, including OWEC, which was the predecessor to the CAH circuit in OW2. Everyone knows the fundamental goal of tournaments is to reveal the most skilled team. This sure seems obvious, but fundamentally creates a problem within the VTuber space itself. When you're in the esports sphere, everyone is inherently united with the intent of being the best in the game. But as VTubers, look, if an Apex tournament happens, I know who will win. If a Marvel Rivals tournament happens, I know who will win. Same with Overwatch and others. The skill gap is just that wide, and even then, those people who don't do great in T2, not even talking about T1. The point of VTubing isn't to be the best at the game. It's to foster different kinds of relationships and communities while using the game as a vessel to deliver the experience. While skill can be a part of the reason people come to watch, it's not inherently why people stay. Otherwise, they'd go watch pro stream instead. VTubers are good at being entertaining through the medium of VTubing. This involves movements that can be over the top, more expressive with the VTuber avatar, or more intimate and cozy because the environments and the characters that can be built with VTubing. The skill of entertainment is hugely different from the skill of winning. Many great entertaining non-VTuber streamers, for instance, don't tend to do fantastic in actual high-tier esports because making flashy plays for content is widely different skill set than the discipline and knowledge required to excel in the height of esports. Crank that specialization of entertainment a step further, and we get the massive skill gaps between VTubers. And yet, we wouldn't say that one VTuber is objectively better than another VTuber just because they're a higher rank at the game. Their performance on the stage for their audience matters more than their inherent skill in the game. When tournaments get held like this, the goal fundamentally shifts into something that VTubers don't do as a core activity. Yes, you can enjoy the game and be entertained by it, but competition isn't the core of VTubing. Not even mentioning that disciplined, competitive play can be so boring sometimes. Oh my god, Apex, I'm looking at you. So when we create tournaments for VTubers, VTubers, we fundamentally are drawing this strange line where we go, hey entertainers, don't do what you do best at all. I want to see you do something completely irrelevant instead. It'd be like taking popular home cooks and making them compete in a competitive hot dog eating competition because food is involved. Sure, it's an entertaining concept that might be fun to watch for the first time when everyone is being good-natured about it, but it gets awkward and not fun once people actually start trying to win, and you wonder why you're even watching it to begin with. In my opinion, any VTuber tournaments should compete on creating hilarious and fun moments, using creativity and VTubing's inherent strengths to create semi-competitive atmosphere only as a vehicle to make things more fun. Rule sets and victory conditions should be about how many good memories and exciting moments are created, not on a raw display of skills. This is a common problem that happens in FleshTuber communities as well, with many infamous examples of last-minute rule changes on ranks leading to immense frustration everywhere as TOS tries to make possible rulings on inherently flawed premises. Now here's the thing. Do I think all tournaments of all kinds shouldn't exist in the VTuber sphere? Absolutely not. They can be fun spectacles when not taken seriously and made for entertainment as the primary driver. But I'm running out of characters here. Maybe I'll do one sometime to show how it's done, eh? So yeah, absolutely. I have to 100% agree with what Tim is saying. The VTubing medium is more for entertainment and fun and laughter and not really meant as a competitive sport. So I have to 100% agree on Tim's take. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think that MochiMochi did the right thing by technically following the rules? Or do you think that perhaps the spirit of the game was not followed? Let me know in the comments below. Okay guys, on to our next piece of Newsy news. This is Sinder, and Sinder is a female English-speaking independent virtual YouTuber that debuted in June 2022. She mainly streams on Twitch, so there has been some controversy with Sinder. I did do a live stream of all the information in regards to the Sinder situation. Needless to say, Sinder has not returned to streaming thus far. However, her fans, who are Pyropups, they have a central hub for communication, and this is called the Pyropup Center, and the Pyropup Center is a refuge for Sinder fans. So anyways, why are we talking about Sinder and the Pyropup Center? Well guys, it looks like within the Sinder community, the fans are fighting amongst themselves. This is posted by the Pyropup Center. This is posted on September 22nd, 2025, around 11:30 p.m. And the Pyropup Center says, a necessary message to the Pyropups. I'm deeply sorry for making another tweet like this. I know you're all tired of fighting to be seen in a positive light, only to have that effort undermined by a few. You deserve better than constant drama, and for that, I'm truly sorry. Today, I need to be completely honest with you. I'm upset, even angry. I apologize if my words come across as harsh, but the situation can no longer be ignored. Let me be clear. This is not a witch hunt. I do not support harassment of any kind. However, it's necessary to address two individuals who have been causing significant harm over the past week. So we have VT and VT. These individuals have engaged in harassment, reignited old drama, pressured VTubers into unnecessary conflicts, and behaved in ways that are entirely unacceptable. Regardless of how others have treated us, we know this is not how we respond. The Pyro Patrol has already stated in the Discord, but I will reiterate this here. Anyone who harasses, bullies, or attempts to harm others in Sinder's name is not a Pyropup. Such behavior will result in a permanent ban from the server and no opportunity for appeal. Most people already know this, but in case there's still anyone who doubts, I'll clarify. I am not Sinder. I don't know her personally, nor do I have any connection to her beyond being her fan. I do not speak on her behalf, but I am certain that if she saw people acting like this in her name, she would be deeply sad and disappointed, because this is not the community she built. I have included their ads not to encourage harassment, but so you can report them to Sinder's moderation team. Their actions have gone far beyond simple mistakes or momentary anger. To the VTubers and creators affected by these individuals, I offer my sincerest apologies. While I know words cannot undo what you've experienced, please know that these actions do not represent the Pyropups. I truly hope you never have to endure such behavior again. We as Pyropups have no enemies, only neutral individuals and future friends. I also owe you an apology. Some of you warned me about this last week, and I underestimated the situation. I should have acted sooner, and I'm sorry for allowing it to escalate. The Pyropup Center was meant to be a refuge, a place of peace and joy, but a refuge requires daily care and maintenance to remain safe. Let this be a reminder. Our flames are meant to warm those who approach, not to burn. Thank you for your understanding, your patience, and your unwavering kindness. Together, we will continue to protect the spirit of this community. We are not defined by the conflicts we face, but how we chose to respond to them. Let our response always be rooted in respect. Good night, Pyropups. All right, so let's continue here. So then this is another post by the Pyropup Center on September 27th at around 12:27 a.m. So here it says, Pyropups, an urgent message for your safety and well-being. My most important role is to help ensure that every Pyropup feels safe, respected, and supported. With that in mind, I need to share an important update. VT has publicly threatened to take legal action against any member of our community who interacts with him. Whether this threat has legal merit is not the point. The point is your peace of mind and personal safety. I strongly advise each of you to block VT across all platforms. This is not an act of hostility, it's an act of self-care. When someone shows they are unwilling to interact in good faith, protecting your own emotional and online space is the wisest choice you can can make. Let me be clear. I do not support harassment, retaliation, or ill intent towards anyone. My only goal here is to protect you. Attempts were made to resolve this calmly and peacefully, but they were not met with the same intention. Effective immediately, Wickedness VT is no longer considered a pyro pup in alignment with the Pyro Patrol guidelines. We cannot condone behavior that threatens or intimidates others. To our friends and neighboring communities, the Shrimples, Astros, Kitsuya, and Vex communities and beyond, please be aware of the situation, prioritize the well-being of your members, and when in doubt, choose protection over engagement. Thank you for listening, and thank you for helping keep the community a place of warmth and support, not fear. So then Pyro Pup had made this is a screenshot where the Pyro Pup had made a statement. That was this statement here. And then Wickedness says, if this group or anyone else further speak or defame me, legal action will be taken. Okay, guys, so that's it. That's the end of the VTuber News. Thanks so much for watching. Here's a quick update on the Lydia VTuber plushie petition that ends in 8 days. We just need 61 people in order to reach the 200 milestone, and everyone can get a free sticker. So if you don't have your Lydia VTuber plushie, now is the time to lock that down. So please make sure to help me reach my goal. Thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, and that's it. That's the end of the VTuber News. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And guys, if you can't catch me on Twitch, that is no problem. I do have a channel called Lydia VTuber Plays that backs up all of my gaming VODs, and I probably played through some of your favorites. I just finished Resident Evil, so please make sure to go take a look. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. No. Ooh, yeah. That was nice. Yeah, it's nice. I like this. I like this. Yeah. Okay, I mean, get off me. Get off me. Get off